You know what's wild? Men love to talk about how women have all these unrealistic expectations, and yes, some do. But let's not act like men don't have the most ridiculous, impossible fairy tale expectations when it comes to women. Sure, some women want a guy who's tall, rich, and ripped. Yeah, that's tough, but it's achievable. You just need a good job and good genes. Now let's flip it. Look at what we expect from women. She's got to be innocent, but she better know how to turn us on. She's got to pay half the bills, but somehow handle all the housework and raise the kids. She's got to be worn out from all that, but God forbid she isn't in a mood when we want to get some. She's got to carry our babies, go through labor, and snap back in a month like nothing ever happened. No stretch marks, no extra weight, nothing. And if she struggles with postpartum depression, we're calling her difficult because all we care about is how long it's been since we got what we wanted in bed. And the aging thing? We can get older, grayer, and softer, but she's supposed to stay young looking forever. Otherwise, we'll say she's losing it. Tell me how many women fit that description. Exactly, none. So next time a man wants to talk about a woman having unrealistic expectations, he should take a long, hard look at the nonsense he's demanding first. And remember, ladies, accept nothing less than queen treatment.
No, that's you. That's you and them niggas that you hang around and the circles you run in. Nah, man. Speak for yourself. Go ahead.
What that mean? What that mean? What you mean by that? You disagree with the man? Or you think
First of all,
the dudes he hang around have those expectations?
yeah. Mr. 50-50 relationship, pay half the bills. No,
So-
go ahead.
So you think this is the crew of men that he hang around? So basically, what you're saying, he hang around the wrong men because real men don't expect those things. They have realistic expectation of the woman in a relationship. Is that what you're saying?
No, man. First of all, if you're with the right woman, you don't need to have she gonna meet all the expectations anyway. You're not gonna have to put all these demands out on the table. Matter of fact, she gonna go head on and make sure that she gonna cross the T's and dot all her I's.
No, I don't. I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying these are the expectations women are supposed to meet in a relationship, in a marriage or a relationship. These are the things that a man want a woman to do. He's not saying that the women don't meet these things. He said they're just unrealistic, some of the things that we're as men that they're asking women to meet. Now, you're saying, yeah, there are women that meet those expectations. He's saying that there is no women that meet those expectations. So he's saying there's no women that pay half the bills, cook, clean, hold on a job, have kids, get their body back in shape instantly, and want to have sex with you all the time. That's what he's saying. There's no women. He said that's unreal.
No.
Do you think it is?
The guys that the ideology that he has, and it seems like the men that he hang around are the men that
have those expectations.
Yeah. First of all, if you with a woman who can do without you, then yes, it's gonna be a lot of expectations you're gonna have to try to put on the table, try to crowbar them into your relationship and make her feel like, hey, do this, do that. You ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. But if you with a woman that really, really want to be with you, then she's happy to do those things. She's delighted to do those things. That's not a job. It's not even an expectation.
So what you're saying is there are women who meet those expectations.
Matter of fact, no, say what you say. Say what you got. Say what you're saying.
I said, so what you're saying is there are women who meet those expectations. He said there are none. But you're saying there are women that meet all of that criteria.
What he's coming from is the guys that run around chasing after women that don't like them. Mm-hmm. You hear that all the time. Don't be messing around with women that don't like you. Okay. If you want to run it, that's fine. If you want to play that game and run in that circle, who am I to tell you not to do it? But if you do, Yes, you're gonna run around trying to tell all the women that men have all these expectations. They have more expectation than women. Yes, because you're with a woman who making your ass a chili dog at night gonna seem like a daunting task.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna seem like a daunting task. Washing the dishes gonna seem like hell. It's gonna seem like all hell done broke loose if she got to go in that kitchen and wash the dishes or put the dishes in the dishwasher. But if you with a woman that adores you and want to be with you, she probably gonna get mad if you tell her not to do those things. But see, when you in a circle of guys and that has this idea, because I'm gonna tell you, this how you end up like that. You will run across somebody like me to talk the way I talk, you're gonna click off me. You're gonna go over there to a Tony Gaskin and listen to cats like that. You're gonna put all that shit in your mind because that's the space that you want to be in. Fine. If you get in those spaces and you play that game, then in turn, don't try to come back and try to say, well, the woman ain't this. The woman, she don't do this. She's not like this. I need to put more expectations on her for that. Only if she would have sex with me more. Only if, she would pull her part of the financial burden. Because we don't want to hear that shit. Because over here, we don't have them kind of problems.
So what do
That's
you
all I'm
think?
telling you.
So what do you think are the expectations for a woman in a relationship?
Well, it's whatever kind of result that you want to get from a woman. So, some men will say they don't want a woman to be because a lot of these guys really they choose a woman based on with his ideology, based on how she looked, because they put a lot of value into uh or they expect the woman to give them value. They expect you're so beautiful, you're gonna add value to me. So, okay, your beauty is supersedes everything. So when it comes to other things, the expectations are low until the beauty gets old, and now you left with a used car. That's what I'm telling you. So your expectation mostly is just gonna be in her beauty. You see it all the time on all the reality shows. The women parade around. They don't do nothing but just look good. That's all they do. They just look good, and the husband's just with them because they look good. Most of them. That's that kind of ideology. But when you with a woman that, hey, she wants to be with me, I don't really value as much as I ain't gonna say just value her beauty as much, but it's not an end all be all. You don't live your life just how a woman feels about you or what kind of value she adds to you. Then it's a whole different expectation. You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I think he just was doing a comparisons of the expectations that we have from each other. He's saying that when the women expect the man to be 6 feet tall, ripped, and have make six figures, that's the expectation that women place upon men, that they considered high value men. And men who consider women, he says the expectations are different for the women because the men expect so much from the woman, more than just her looks, whereas women only expect you to make a lot of money and be a nice looking man with a nice height, nice body frame. Whereas he's saying men expect women to be all those things, and he threw in the duties of a woman as well, because he feels like the men duty is only to make the money. And I think that's where he missed the point. I think what he did, he went in and he devalued all the things the men did. He just he came down to just physical with the men, but then he went to elaborate all the things that the women do. So he downplayed that the men cut the grass, the men fix things. I mean, the men, the real men. I guess he's thinking that the six-figure men don't have to do that. Maybe they don't have to do it, but they still have to find somebody to do it. So it's still a duty that's done by those men. And I think what he did was downplay what a man does, and then he talked about all the things that a woman is required to do. He didn't talk about all those things that the man has to do in the family as well. And I think that's what he did. He just kind of shitted on what a man does and say, all I got to do is be tall, make six figures. He's saying that's achievable by any man. Well, nigga, it's not achievable, because you said they got to have good genes. So if you don't have the genes, you're not going to be tall. So if women are demanding that, then a man can't achieve that. But the things that he's saying that the women do, they're achievable by every woman. He said there's no women around here that do that. That's a lie. All those things are achievable by every woman. The deal is, does the woman want to do those things? And that goes back to what you're saying. Do the women want to do those things? So you must be choosing women that don't want to do those things, because all those things are achievable. And you neglected to say all the things that men do other than just be tall and six figures.
So we when you look at it from that point of view, from that mindset, because that's all he's talking from, is a specific mindset. So if we together, and then that becomes a conversation where there's demands, I have these many expectations, you have that many expectations, and then in turn it becomes a tug of war, then it's because either one of y'all are trying to force the other person to be in a certain place. As a man, if you have a woman that you're trying to force in a certain place,
shouldn't be with her.
Her demands are going to be very, very high. As a woman, if you have a man that's not in a certain place, and he doesn't view you like you view him, his demands are going to be very, very high. Listen, a woman can say all day, I want a 6 foot, 6 figure, whatever kind of man.
Ripped man.
A lot of women will say that, but most of the women don't have that. That's
True.
a fact, because it's just not that many men like that out here. So they have to, they will fall head over heels in love with somebody else. And then a 6 figure, 6 feet, 6-pack come along, and they don't even view the world the same no more. Their expectations have all the way turned around. You see what I'm saying? So with a man like this, he is going to buy into those realities of how the world works, when the fact of the matter is it really don't work that way. It really don't. But when you start going expectations for expectation, demand on demand, it's all going to be, what level are the two of you on? What level are the two of you on? Does that woman love you?
Or is she there for your looks and your money?
That's it. Or does she respect you? That's what it boils down to. But see, different men have different ideologies. So yeah, you can preach this kind of message to women, but I'll tell you this much right now. You're trying to make a one size fit all, and it's not just gonna do it. And it's not saying, I'm not trying to be extreme by saying all or nothing is always, but it's damn near half and half. I'll be honest with you. Nah, I take that back. It's more guys with his ideology than it is with mine. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. But I guess if you want to play in that world, then yes, you can listen to a guy like this and you can try to take advice, because it's all gonna boil down to what kind of interaction you want with the woman. That's what it's gonna boil down to.
I think it goes back to what we always talk about, going into any situation or any relationship with expectations. You cannot control what the other person doing. When you expect too much, that's when you're disappointed.
Exactly.